What we see now is so opulent ISKCON. It is started with scratch, and that will give us really the dedication of Prabhupada and detachment of Prabhupada and his devotion, and how he walked with the devotees, he talked with the devotees, lived with the devotees. He's a completely exclusive spiritual master in the history, who cooked for his devotee, who cleaned for his devotees, who made them to learn how to wear dhoti, how to wear sari. There's no other spiritual master in the history who has done such a, what you can say manual service for his devotees. And you can draw your conclusion from this statement when Srila Prabhupada was asked by one of the newspaper reporter, are you spiritual master of most famous George Harrison? This is the section which we are actually discussing. And Srila Prabhupada was quiet for a while. He said, no. And then he said, I am humble servant of everybody. I am humble servant of everybody. This was the answer of Srila Prabhupada. So this is the humility. Prabhupada, when he was in India, still he has not started anything. He was Abhay Babu. One of his god brother, Adi Keshav Das, famous as Mr. Kapoor, Dr. Kapoor, he asked Srila Prabhupada, Abhay, you have pharmacy, you make medicine. Do you have any medicine by which we can get Krishna Prem? And Prabhupada said, yes, I have one. And then Adi Kapoor asked, which is that medicine? Prabhupada said, Tranadapi sunichena tarorapi saishona amanena manadena kirtanya sadahari. Well, Adi Keshav did not really appreciate and understand at that time, but after a few years when Prabhupada came back from West with his followers from the West, he was really surprised. He said, really he took that medicine and he has proved that this medicine works. And Prabhupada is personification of this verse of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, amular than blade of grass, more tolerant than tree, giving respect to everybody, not expecting any respect for himself. Prabhupada is personification of this verse. And sometime we heard some Srila Prabhupada disciple describe every aspect of this verse in Prabhupada's life. So we have to read today Srila Prabhupada Lilamritam from fourth book or fourth volume. And we are in the chapter which says unlimited opportunities, limited time. Unlimited opportunities, limited time. It means our life is limited, but the service to Krishna is unlimited. Krishna is Ananta, and there are innumerable ways to serve Krishna, but we have limited time. And we are reading this section in which one of Srila Prabhupada's dream of preaching in England, which is a spiritual master, His Divine Grace, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada has personally sent his very learned sannyasis to accomplish some foundation or footing of Krishna consciousness in England, but hardly they made one devotee, a lady, her name is mentioned in this Lilamritam. some Vinod Vani, something like that. But Prabhupada sent the 3 couples, Grasta devotees there. And these Grasta devotees were not having money, not having place to stay. And along with these 3 couples, there was one baby, Saraswati, the first child in ISKCON. And they were successful in making 3 British boys as full-time devotees. Without temple, without prasad distribution. Now we have many people coming because there's opulent prasad. Yeah. So internal reasons and external reasons for Mahaprabhu's appearance. So I say external reason is Sunday program, prasad. Internal reason is regular Bhagavatam class. So for the devotees, serious devotees come for morning Bhagavatam class. And the Sunday feast people are the external reasons for Krishna consciousness. So they made the 3 first European devotees. So what is their reaction? So we are reading. The devotees thrilled to see their group expanding. They are thrilled to see their group. It means when somebody makes one devotee, it is a very blissful experience. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada used to say, to save one conditioned soul from material world, gallons of bloods are burned. It's not easy job. But if you think, I have made these devotees, then you are foolish and fallen. So see the next line. The devotees thrilled to see their group expanding and Prabhupada's potency working. So the next line is more important. You can make devotees, but if you don't give credit to the Parampara and Srila Prabhupada, then your all work is useless, practically speaking. It is ego-centered. It is not devotional. So second line is most important. And Prabhupada's potency working, they saw. So they decided to phone Prabhupada. Because they made 3 devotees. And they thought, yes, Prabhupada's mercy is working. So let us inform Prabhupada. It means they recognize that Prabhupada's mercy is because they phoned Srila Prabhupada. From where they phoned, they have no money. When I read the phone in those days, phone was so difficult. Now you have cellular phone in your hand. In Karachi, when Giriraj Maharaj was there and he was supposed to phone overseas, whole night we used to wake up in a telephone exchange. Because the time is different in America. So we have to go there, book a call with the operator and telephone exchange, and then wait. And Maharaj used to just lie down on a bench, and he asked me, do you stand when they call, you call me. So to call one call, you have to wait for hours. So these phone calls in those days were not easy. And also it cost money, and there was no money with devotees. So what they did is, they made a phone, they decided to phone Srila Prabhupada, they said they phoned Prabhupada from their landlord's office. From their landlord's office. So indirectly they were benefiting landlord. Yeah, engaging him in a agyat sukriti of serving devotees. The telephone was a conference phone, and Prabhupada's voice came over the little loudspeaker on the desk. The devotees sat around the desk listening tensely. In those days, one letter of Prabhupada used to come, the whole temple gathered together. And they wanted to hear one word maybe 100 times. That was the mood in those days. After this cellular phone, the respect for the devotee community has completely dwindled like anything. Just I called him, what hell, he's come, what is the difference? In those days, just one letter was a lifeline for the devotees. One word of the letter was a lifeline for the devotees. So devotees said, Prabhupada, Mukunda said. So one of those three Prabhus in that group was Mukunda, Shyam Sundar and Guru Das. So Mukunda was one of the senior, one of the first batch. So he was speaking. We have some new brahmacharis here. Good news to the Prabhupada. But see how Prabhupada is responding. Prabhupada said, oh, are they cooking chapatis? What Prabhupada means, brahmachari means service. Are they doing some service? See, rolling chapati is a sort of service which required dedication. Otherwise, you will make the map of Andhra Pradesh or Telangana. So, in olden days, the girls were tested for marriage with if they make the round chapati. So then the girl becomes so expert, they made any sort of chapati, then they take some bowl, put on this and make it go around. So it was easy to make something round. So these are the old taste actually. You have to peel the potato, but the no skin fall, it should be continuous one. That is your expertise. You peel it such a way that the skin should be whole circle. Never, if cut, you are unfit. So these are the old techniques of understanding whether they are working in kitchen or not. So Prabhupada said, our brahmachari training is a military discipline. Military discipline. Shoot, take gun. Cook, start stuff and cooking. Go for Sankirtan, yes. Clean, yes. Whatever is asked, you have to do that. That is the brahmachari training of Prabhupada's time. It's not that what is your choice. In the middle of the night, sannyasis used to say, yes, let us go. He will not ask where. Let us go, go. And where they are going, what is with them? Nothing. Just they start. No plan, nothing. So this was the training. Now Prabhupada saying, Prabhupada asked from across the ocean. So Prabhupada was in America. The devotees laughed uncontrollably, then hushed to hear more. So Prabhupada said, like you left, they also left. Prabhupada never asked that, are they chanting? He said, are they making chapatis? It means service is only thing which keep the devotee stay in devotional service. This is the one discussion among the senior devotees of Srila Prabhupada, that what actually is the problem that devotees leave. And the answer is, if they are not properly engaged, they leave. So Prabhupada's this question is, are they properly engaged? Not only chanting is one of the important items, but service is the only request which we are doing through chanting. So are they doing service? That is more important. If the devotees are fully engaged, then they stay forever. If there is any loophole, Maya will snatch them. Now next, now they want to hear Prabhupada. No, said Mukunda, but they will be now. They will be now. So we will train them. It means Prabhupada asked, are they engaged? They said, no, we will engage. Okay. The devotees each told Prabhupada how they missed him. And he said, and Prabhupada said, he missed them too and would come as soon as they could get a place. So this is the reciprocation between the devotee and spiritual master. You love and serve devotee. Do you love and serve a spiritual master? He will love and serve you. This is a reciprocation. You miss him, he also misses you. So this is simple formula. What Krishna says, yat yatamam prapadyanti. So you miss me, I miss you. You love me, I love you. You serve me, I serve you. Very simple formula. And now, and then Prabhupada encouraged them, I will come as soon as you get place. In other words, he inspired them to get some place for them to live together because they were living separate. Next, after allowing the devotees 3 months in the warehouse at Covent Garden, he was some landlord who just allowed them to stay free in their, what is called, warehouse. So devotees, this experience of devotees in those days is completely, you cannot, once the devotees, they cooked some dal in the kitchen. So they put the ghee and then put the spice and then smoke came out and the landlord called the fire brigade because smoke is not allowed. So the fire brigade came and they were immediately asked, you vacate this place, and they have to take their few things and get out immediately from that place. And they are on the street sitting, where to go now? And one old lady said, oh, what are you doing here? Oh, we are thrown out from our landlord, we were tenants there. So no problem, I have a whole house empty, you come and stay there. Just after a few moments, they got another place. So devotees has this type of life actually. It's not that they had some comfortable place like we are having presently. It was so simple, it was the time, and the really austerities was unheard actually for the Western people. This austerity was unimaginable. Only they were keeping it because they loved Prabhupada. And why they loved Prabhupada? Because Prabhupada cooked for them hot chapatis, samosa and halwa, which they never had in their house by their parents. It was always cold things from refrigerator. They used to call, Satsuru Maharaj said, I used to call from office, Swamiji, can you make those triangular thing called samosa this evening, we will come. Prabhupada said, yes. And Prabhupada used to cook for them. And now they said, after this, we realized we are engaging a spiritual master in service. We were so innocent and naive at that time. But Prabhupada was so tolerant and merciful. And he used to do that. So, Prabhupada encouraged them to find out some place. And what the place they had, they lost. They lost that place. And he said, the landlord announced that he needed to use the space and the devotees would have to move. The couple moved to 3 separate locations. And again their strong group spirit dissipated. Srila Prabhupada began sending 2 or 3 letters a week to the scattered couple. 2 or 3 letters a week. Prabhupada used to send 2 or 3 letters per week to each couple living separately, not together. How many letters Srila Prabhupada has written? Now, maybe we are sending message on WhatsApp or email, but the letters have some different, like cooking personally by mother cooks and go and eat in a restaurant. What is the difference? There is a difference between writing letter personally and just sending message. It's completely different. And Prabhupada wrote them 2-3 letters a week. And praising them for their sincere determination. The devotees could gather regularly, if only to show one another their latest letter. So they used to somehow meet one another. If I got a letter, so everybody used to listen one another's letter. That was only it means Prabhupada was still the center of all their activities. They were only uniting to read Prabhupada letter. So next, Prabhupada wrote to Mukunda of his desire to preach Krishna consciousness in West, specifically London. Prabhupada's letter. So far I am concerned, Prabhupada has written this letter, I always wish only to expedite my mission of life to spread Krishna consciousness in western part of the world. I am still firmly convinced that if I can establish this movement through the help of all my boys and girls, Kabhi Prabhupada never he said that like today's sometimes my chela. No, my boys and girls are my students. And what was Prabhupada's profession in his passport? Teacher. And he used to call his disciple my students. Are boys and girls, and they were thinking he's our father. This was the relationship actually. So Prabhupada said, with the help of my boys and girls who have now joined with me, and then it will be a great achievement. I am old man, and there are already been warning. Already been warning means I had heart attack. One on the Jalduta and other in the New York, somewhere in the west. And at that time, Prabhupada was in a hospital, and he told Brahman, take me out from here. And Brahman actually, with a stretcher, he pushed Prabhupada out of the hospital. And when Brahmananda left his body in Vrindavan, they were about to take him to Delhi for hospital. But before that, in Vrindavan, he left his body. And then when memories of Brahmananda, somebody said, because he saved Prabhupada from the hospital, Prabhupada saved him from hospital. Prabhupada saved Brahmananda from hospital. There was another one devotee, Srila Prabhupada's devotee, Narsinga Chaitanya. Very simple. I mean, rank and file devotee, nobody knows. Once he had some accident there in America. He got some insurance, lot of money. He gave this money to Prabhupada. He kept only $1,000 for himself, the rest he gave to Prabhupada. Prabhupada put that money in a Mayapur Vrindavan fund. So I traveled with Narsinga Chaitanya in 1989 in America. He was taking care of cows in New Vrindavan. So then he became an elderly. Somebody told it's very difficult for you to survive in America, but what you get as a senior citizen allowance here, you will live in Vrindavan opulently. So he came to Vrindavan. And he got a place in the MBT. And he left body in MBT. So somebody was saying he gave his money to Prabhupada for MBT, and Prabhupada arranged his departure from MBT in Vrindavan. So these are the certain things which are very subtle. That's what Prabhupada said. Devotional service is very, is a mysterious. So he gave this something to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada arranged him that he gave the money, he should be in MBT in Vrindavan and he leave the body there. How fortunate he is. Little service rendered to Prabhupada or to the movement is always recognized. It never forgotten. So these are the living examples. I am old man and there are already been warnings, but before I leave this body, I wish to see some of you very strong in Krishna consciousness understanding. I am very glad and proud also that you 6 boys and girls, although you have not been able to establish a nice center in London, still you have done your best. And the news has reached far away in India that my disciples are doing very nice work in Krishna consciousness. So that is my pride. That is my pride. I have received a letter from my god brother informing that it has been advertised in India that in Vietnam also somebody is spreading Krishna conscious movement. This is 69. And 71 Prabhupada was speaking in India. He said, we have international society. Somebody challenged him, have you preaching started in Pakistan? Prabhupada accepted this challenge. He said, I cannot go, but my American disciple can go. So he immediately asked Brahmanand to go to the West Pakistan then, and Gargamuni to go to the East Pakistan. So he accepted the challenge. He said, yes, my disciples are going there and start the movement there. So 71, Brahmanand, he was not having much money, so he came by foot, by hitchhiking, asking somebody to Afghanistan. From Afghanistan he came to Peshawar. From Peshawar he came to Punjab of Pakistan, present Pakistan. And he went to preach on the university as if he's in America. And he told, and he written also in Back to God, people literally spit on his face. He was alone. Then he came to Karachi. And 71 war broke. I was at that time in Karachi. And he came there. He has only one book, Krishna, the Reservoir of Pleasure, and that was black and white copy. And he was preaching in a very, what you call, scheduled caste community. In one small area, Rangiwada, we have now 1-2 small centers there. Now we have one center functioning, other center they are just purchased some small place to run a center. I used to go there to give class every Friday, something like that when I was there. So Brahmanand then came back and there was a gap, but the things has started. So the seed was there. Now there are 14 centers, something they are running in Pakistan, which is present West Pakistan. So things, simply Prabhupada said and things worked. So this is a challenge. So there is no need to be disappointed. You go on with your work as best as Krishna give you the opportunity. And there's no cause of your anxiety. Everything is going smoothly. But since you are now separated, the strength of your activities appears to be little disturbed. Now you try to assemble together in same spirit as you were doing. And in that case, temple or no temple, your movement will go on progressively. So the Prabhupada's mood and mission is the devotees should be united. So therefore his last instruction is, if you love me, then you show it how you cooperate among yourselves. So his whole mood is how united we are. And then he told this story at that time of an old woodcutter. Before his death, he called his sons and he gave a bunch of sticks to them and asked them to break. They could not break. Then he gave one stick to each and everybody broke it. He said, The lesson is this: if you are united, nobody can break you. If you are divided, you all will be broken. This was Prabhupada's message. United we stand, divided we fall. That is the rule. So he wanted you should be together, always in a spirit. Now you try to assemble together in the same spirit as you were doing. And in that case, temple or no temple, your movement will go on progressively. So if we are united, we can, if no temple, no problem, we can progress. We are not much concerned about temple because temple worship is not primary factor in this age. In a Kumbh Mela, Jamuna Mataji was trying to offer a arti, but the wind was blowing, not possible. 10 times he tried. Prabhupada says, deity worship is not for Kali Yuga. It's not for Kali Yuga. So he said temple is, and then Prabhupada says temple is important only for Krishna consciousness for two purposes. There are two purposes for temple in Krishna consciousness. First is punctuality, second is purity. Temple is for two things, punctuality and purity. That you should be regulated in time, and then you should go purified to the place which is very sacred and sanctified. The rest of the deity worship, we follow the strict rules afterwards Prabhupada established, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave this order to the Goswamis to establish temple in Vrindavan. So Prabhupada has taken that legacy, continues the establishing temple. But if you see in early days, Prabhupada installing the deities, they were doing abhishek with the kitchen spoon. You have seen this? You see the old videos. Very simple, not an elaborate thing like we have this adivas and all, nothing. Just kitchen spoon and ghee and something. But it is the love which invite. Somebody was telling one deity in the history, Sakshi Gopal, to become witness to a devotee moved from Vrindavan to South India. But hundreds of deities followed Prabhupada to West just to witness his preaching. Jagannath reached there to help Prabhupada. So many deities moved to witness Prabhupada's work there and actually so facilitate all the facilities for him. So this is very important, Primary factor is Sankirtan. This is most important message actually. Sankirtan is more important in Kali Yuga than temple worship. So that's what ultimately said, even if at all we may not run temple, no problem, but we should continue Sankirtan. It's early days in ISKCON in Boston. To run a temple, which may be hired, one devotee used to engage in service, and he has to earn money to run the temple. This was the early structure of temples in ISKCON. One devotee Brahmananda was working and he's bringing money to run the New York temple. And he was printing the Back to Godhead on the old, what is called, in a litha machine we used to call, not a printer, but something he used to do in his office and print and bring it to home. So in Boston, the one devotee was earning money and temple running. So one simple devotee, Nanda Kumar, he said, Prabhupada said, do Sankirtan, Krishna will provide everything. So why can't we try and do Sankirtan? So they went there out in Boston market, they did Sankirtan, people gather around, and they would then blew the conch shell, ooh, and then put the conch shell upside down. People put some money in that. They got $12. And they were not getting $12 in a week by service. So said, yes, Sankirtan working, Prabhupada said. Next day again they went for Kirtan. They got $24. He said, this is amazing. Prabhupada said, do Sankirtan and all the problems are solved. So we have not to work anymore. We do Sankirtan. In this way, Sankirtan started simply because the temples can be maintained by Sankirtan simply. From Vrindavan Gurukul, Kurmarupa Prabhupada's disciple was teacher there. He took the young Gurukuli brahmacharis. He wanted in a summer to go to the Himalaya. He reached to the Dehradun. He said, where I can accommodate these all boys? Where can I feed them? He said, I have no idea. So I said, let us go and do Kirtan. So we started doing Kirtan there. And then 10 people came from 10 directions, said, we are your life members, please come to our house, take prasad here. So for 15 days we were engaged, every day prasad, every day staying, no problem. Simply you do Sankirtan, you will get everything. And Prabhupada, our Sankirtan has two parts. One is Harinam Sankirtan and the other is book distribution. So this double Sankirtan is a double engine ISKCON government. This is the double engine. Sankirtan books and Sankirtan Harinam. So this works. Prabhupada said, Prabhupada was going from Pittsburgh airport to New York, and those who came to receive Prabhupada, he told them, I spread this movement by two things. Sweet Kirtan and prasad distribution. Only these two things I spread this movement all over the world. Just by Harinam Sankirtan and prasad distribution. Then he was sitting and Brahmanand was saying, he told Brahmanand, in early days we were not having prasad distribution. Only Harinam Sankirtan. Prabhupada said, I had only one apple. And I used to count how many devotees are there. Then I have to cut that one apple in that many pieces to give one each prasad. This was my... So some devotee was really meditating that there may be some banana, there may be some orange. Why Prabhupada said apple? So it says there is a history of apple. One apple fell in the heaven and Adam ate and the creation came. One apple fell from the tree and Newton found and the law of gravity started. One apple was a record, very famous apple record, and the pop music spread all over the world. One apple is the IT computer industry's Apple computer, but the original apple distributed by Prabhupada and this movement came out. This real apple Prabhupada distributed, and this whole movement is spread all over the world. So this is Prabhupada's. These old devotees were so sweet and simple, you cannot really imagine that. One devotee was chanting Sohatra Swami, afterward he became Sohatra Swami. Before he was Brahmachari and Sankirtan leader. He was in a temple room chanting with Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And there was no counter. Sankhya was not there. Tamal Krishna Maharaj said, Sohatra, how you are counting? How many rounds you have chanted? Say 8. How you know? He said, count the rasgulla in the bowl. After one round, I take one rasgulla. I put 16 rasgulla here. And then there is the syrup. After finishing, I will drink whole. Then Tamal Krishna Maharaj thought, after eating in Mangal Arati 16 rasgulla and drinking half a liter of syrup, he will go and sleep and doze. He said, today you give the Bhagavatam class. And he gave fiery Bhagavatam class, Maharaj says. These were the early devotees, simplicity and sweetness. When they were doing Sankirtan, then nothing, only you bread and some salad and some cheese and eat and go. And so some senior devotees go bring something for prasad. So he immediately brought something, cut, put everything and offered He said, have you offered? In olden days, what do you know what they used to say for offering? You put thread. आपने जनेऊ को हाथ में डाल के ऑफर किया, जिसको कहता पुट थ्रेड, उनकी लैंग्वेज ये होती थी, हैव यू पुट थ्रेड, इसका मतलब आपने ऑफर किया, ऑफरिंग को पुट थ्रेड कहते थे, दे यूज्ड टू से पुट थ्रेड। अब वो बेचारा बिल्कुल सिंपल था, उसने ऑफरिंग तो किया नहीं था, बोला यस, वेयर यू डिड, आई डिड नॉट सी, in front of the store I bow down and offer the whole store to Krishna. Everybody will honor prasad now. So simple devotees, so simple devotees, so sweet devotees. So now, Prabhupada says, primary factor is Sankirtan. But sometimes we want a center where people may gather and see. So, a temple is required secondarily. So try your best immediately to live together. I am very much eager to see that you are again living together. So Prabhupada's mood is the devotees should be together. For Srila Prabhupada's disciple, this instruction that they preach in London was much more binding them than any other obligation. He was in their hearts, and they thought of him constantly. And this is Prabhupada said, I was never alone. Always my spiritual master was with me. So similar mood is of these devotees that they were always thinking Prabhupada is with us. In carrying out his order and trying to please him, they were constrained not by force or law, but by love. To please the spiritual masters, to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and for Prabhupada's sincere disciple, to please him seemed the end in itself. Yes, prasada, Bhagavat prasada. I think our time is over. All right, so Prabhupada is in LA, and now it's June 23, 69. After leaving New Vrindavan, so this correspondence of Prabhupada with Mukunda is from New Vrindavan. Now Prabhupada is moving to LA, which is his main center. The only thing in that section is Prabhupada was in all actions with devotees. There was no, different class feeling. Only one thing they said, Prabhupada was ahead of us. And that was, he was crying when he was installing deities. He was crying that he was ahead of us. He never showed that any other time, but he was in ecstasy at that time. In this section, this Prabhupada's ecstasy is explained. Prabhupada somehow becomes so ecstatic. Otherwise, he was with us like one of us. So Prabhupada actually gave them room, gave them space that they can grow. So leader is the one who gives the space for the newcomers to grow, not bottleneck everything and suffocate them. So Prabhupada was such a marvelous leader to give a space for the newcomers to grow and was encouraging them. And one of Prabhupada's he was not officially initiated disciple, but he was trained by Prabhupada. Said, Peter Brochure, he has some books, he said, two things which are lacking in ISKCON. One is sincere appreciation. We are too miser to appreciate the good work of some devotees. And Prabhupada is appreciative of simple, single thing of devotees. So we are very miser in appreciating the devotees' achievements. And second thing he said, we are not appreciating properly the devotees, and then he said, we are not properly trained as customer care. In a business, you have to care of customers. So we are not really very trained to receive the people who come to our temple. These are the two things which are lacking in a present situation of ISKCON as Prabhupada wanted. Two things. The Prabhupada's, this one letter from Kumbh Mela in 77, on a man bathing day, there was not prasad distribution. So 1 hour Prabhupada chastised Bhaktadas, why you have not arranged bhoga for prasad distribution? He said, roads are closed, and why you did not do it 2 days before? So he was, this was on his Prabhupada's head. He went to the Calcutta. He was supposed to go to on the way to Bhubaneswar, but in Calcutta he asked Tamal Krishna Maharaj, write a letter to all the temple's presidents of ISKCON. He said, anybody who is coming in our temple, you prepare the prasad, dal, rice, pakoda, samosa. He said halwa, something is a big list. Anybody who is coming, receive him properly. He is a guest in our temple. And ask them to honor prasad. When the batch of prasad is over, cook the new batch. Never think that you are providing them. Radharani is in charge of kitchen. There's no scarcity. So you do this one seva. See Prabhupada's mood, how to receive anyone coming to the temple. This is the outstanding letter of Prabhupada. So this is how to receive the guest. A simple person coming in the temple, he is a customer. And you are a seller. We are Nam Hut. We have a Nam Hut. We are seller of the holy name. He is a customer, came to here. If we are not, this is another pravachan Prabhupada gave in in Vrindavan. He said, I started the movement with 10 rupees Indian. Now we have 10 millions of worth property. Any businessman can do that? Impossible. Then he said, people who are coming in the temple, you don't look in their pocket, look in their heart. You give them Krishna, they will give their life. You give them Krishna, they will give their life. If you ask something from them, then they will be scared. And then Prabhupada said, money is byproduct of preaching. Money comes to the feet of a sadhu. This is Prabhupada's lecture. See, these are some of the teaching of Prabhupada. If we really practically implement in our preaching, the miracles will happen. Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hare Krishna.
His Grace Sarvabhauma Prabhu ki